and it gets an opportunity for new people to come on. Like any festival, they come to see one channel of sport product, but they fall in love with another one because they love the story of it. We're going to have some skydivers do some skydiving, I guess, jumps. So we're going to have some guys in the wakeboard space. We're going to have guys in the mount climbing space. We're going to have guys in every kind of space that sort of sits in that thrill-seeking market. That's what we're really focusing on. And I haven't seen it being done before. I've seen it very fragmented in different things, but pulling it all under one roof is going to be absolutely huge and great to see. And, you know, we're in a time where you've got the young kid who's 10 moving through into like the young adolescent market, and his dad is like 40, and they're sort of sitting there loving the same thing. So one of the exciting parts of the show is we've just signed on to do it. It's a trans-Tasman drone racing competition. Wow. Now, drone racing's been very underground, but we're sort of bringing it above ground now. And the guys down in Melbourne at Quarrup have just been loving that we're getting behind this because, you know, it's so new and exciting, but no one's really brought it to an in-stadium experience. So that's what we're doing.
So remote-controlled drone racing, like a Red Bull Air Race.
Yep, but smaller version, almost Star Wars meets Red Bull Air Race. So
that's brilliant.
We're really excited because what we're trying to do is bring forward emerging products and brands into a mainstream space where they've usually just held down below. They've just basically been on YouTube. We're just giving them a voice.
That's magic.
We're giving everyone a voice.
That's magic.
So if you've got something to say, come and say it.
Great. You know what I love about adventure. You've got a surfer. I always say that people, regular people who don't surf particularly might say, bloody dull bludging surfer. It's never a case, is it? You know, to get up at 4 a.m. to surf. You're often a skateboarder because you're so fit, and that's just the life you live.
That's right.
So particularly in this day and age, no one's just a surfer, and no one's just drinking and getting on the stuff. You know, it's the best thing for young kids to see. Someone I heard on radio not long ago say, you know, you should be drinking in moderation. And I actually really thought about that, and I thought, you know what? I actually heard Mick Fanning say, and I don't know Mick Fanning at all. It might not be true, but he actually it isn't true. But he only drinks on Friday was what someone told me.
Sure.
Okay, and I went, wow. And he's been a big star in my mind, personal. If someone had told me that a star, someone I thought was really cool, only drinks on Fridays as a young kid, I would have thought, man, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
What
I like about Mick, and I don't know him personally as well, but what I've seen from my view is that he's a guy that's turned around the sport of surfing in a way, because it used to be like that. It used to be so subculture and that kind of stuff, and you know, you used to be tearaways down the surf and just hanging out, but now it's gone professional, and I love it because so many different brands are looking at saying, look, we want our brand associated with you, and you've got a really good understanding of how to market products by your own personality. So I reckon thumbs up to Mick, I think, and Joel and all the guys. They're just really, the more professional they're going, the better it is for the sport. And you can see the growth, the more brands want to get onto it, and that's where I want to see other underground sports sort of take that same ethos.
Yeah. But even still, they're not even pros. They're actually just sort of fairly clean guys.
Yeah.
You know, and we are starting to love these clean, or not even clean. I don't mean to say that, you know, but obviously everyone has a beer or two. But more to the point of, like, you can't keep doing these good sports, BMX and being a clown. 100%. You just can't wake up and do these tricks. No way. You're living a good life there.
Yeah. You've got to see a lot of these guys now. They're on the Gold Coast and they're training with like Mark Luciari. They're doing all these fitness camps, and they just want to get their body and their mind in ultimate performance trend. And, you know, you can see that they're putting 100% behind the motivation to be the best. And I can see that's going to happen. The Gold Coast is going to cultivate and spawn such great athletes in this adventure sports space, because even the council's behind it. Yeah. I know Queensland Tourism are looking at this for high performance sports programs to actually do more activity here. Got the beautiful green cauldron of the hinterland for all the mountain biking. We've got awesome beaches and oceans. So we've got this cauldron of activity. Weather's fantastic. So let's really use this and actually breed champions.
Yeah.
You know, I think we've got some great guys who've done well, but we can do more.
Yeah. Mate, you've been around the world, right? My neighbours down here in the Currumbin Valley, they went to Hawaii, just last week. Yep. I said, and you, how many times have you heard this lately? It's due to, we can fly anywhere now.
Yep.
Everyone says the same thing. I went to Japan. I love it. Like, cultures are what's great about the rest of the world, but everyone says the same thing. Oh my God, it's hard to have a holiday because we live in the most beautiful beach I've ever seen in my life is here with the best sand. Yep. And as it comes to skate parks, like go to Eleanor, you'll see our council is building the best skate parks I've ever seen, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, I'd like to think that we're acknowledging it now. We're flying around the world and going, oh, look at us, we're going away. But hang on a minute. Wow. I didn't realise.
Absolutely. I'll give a shout out to one of a great private organisation called Gold Coast Compound and Tom Herzog. What a great visionary this guy is. He's got it's in Upper Coomera there. It's a facility for indoor skate park and it's got all the ramps, boxes and hips and stuff. And man, this guy is just so dedicated as an ex-teacher to help young guys just live their dreams in the action sports space. And, you know, he's got like 30,000 registered riders and I couldn't believe it. I thought, you're not getting any love from anyone. So I actually helped him get discovered by Gold Coast Adventure Travel Group, and now they're doing a lot more and the council's behind him. So a lot of small businesses out there doing great things but sort of not getting that share of voice, and it's really important that we get behind these guys because, as I said, small business is the engine room and we need to drive it hard.
Yeah. Just we're becoming the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you've got the weather, you know. Look at it's raining today, and I was like, this rain. I think, Drew, come on, mate. It's rained like 4 times in 4 months.
Yeah. You know, it's good. Obviously, the rain it makes everything green, and everyone knows that your gardens get watered. But wait a couple of days and be beautiful sunshine. Weather's warm.
It's always
water's warm. A lot of good people who are just in that active, healthy lifestyle at the moment. Especially, you see the run around Burleigh Headland. You know, people just love what the Gold Coast has got to offer, and I think we're going to see a lot more people migrate here, especially from the southern states. Look, I know business is great in Sydney at the moment, great in Melbourne, and let's make it great on the Gold Coast. You know, let's stand up and be counted. I'm not sure if you know, Drew, but there's 7 Gold Coasts in the world. So which one are we? Let's stand up and say, hey, we're going to be the action sports one.
Yeah.
You know, we're very similar to Southern California, where the way the weather sits. So a lot of our guys have to go over there and compete, and we're pulling them away from this territory where we need to actually draw people more to the Gold Coast and say, hey, this is us, mate.
Yeah. And it's always been the way that I guess we don't have a big factory culture in this city, you know, so there's no heavy industry here. But yeah, you might be actually, it's already happening, so forgive my sort of ignorance, but yeah, the action sports, this could be our number one industry away from tourism.
100%. Look,
probably already is when you think about it.
I think we'll help tourism, but look, we've got Com Games 2018, massive big push. That's really good in the mainstream space, but, you know, we can actually, off the back of that, really promote the Gold Coast for the adventure sports space, and we can hand in hand with mainstream sports. You know, collectively, sports is great for people. It's fun, gets people fit, stops obesity. It's just got so many great elements. So we really need to sit around anything that's involved with sport. The value of sports is pure, and it's great. And you know, it stops a lot a lot of problems. You know, I'm a big believer that kids in sports keeps kids out of courts. So that's why I'm trying to push hard to get, you know, a lot more kids involved in active sports. And I can see that they're down the skate park or at Tom's Gold Coast compound. You know, they might spend, you know, 50 hours trying to do one trick, and as soon as they get it, everyone runs over, gives them high five, and it just elevates them. You know, I just see so.
And now they're GoProing, they're videoing it all.
Video proing. Now they've got drones who are.
Yeah.
You know, it's just such a great spot to be in, and super excited that we're actually starting to do something about it.
Right. So tell me more about Russia.
Well, let's go.
I've never been there, by the way.
Let's go China before that, because I think China, 1.3 billion people, fastest migration of.
Let's think about that, 1.3 billion people. We've got 27 million in this country, right?
100%. The markets we're going into is 85 times bigger than the Australian market. So it's inconceivable that we won't push some merchant, some commerce through that way. China's just exploding at the moment. You know, fastest migration, I just said. The social media sites like Weibo and that is just getting, you know, the microblogging sites are 400 million users. So,
and you'd have, with what that many billion people, there's probably 27 million English-speaking people. You know, like they're...
No doubt. It's the culture to speak English as well now. You know, you just got such a migration of these young people. The problem that's been is they've got the one-child policy. So there's just not... there's millions of youth and teenagers As far as the active space, they've been a little bit sheltered, but that's starting to change as the younger adult is moving forward and having kids. There's Red Bull's pretty active in this space. I know Adidas is pretty active. To give you an idea, this is a fantastic metric. There's 300 million basketball players at street ball level in China. That's almost as many people in America. Wow. So we're talking about going massively to scale here.
Yeah, at the start of something, really.
Correct.
Excuse me. Oh, mate. It's so exciting. Yeah, like I told you, I always go to Japan. I've been going to Japan every year for about 10 or 12 years. And, I don't know anything about China, but Japan is, though it's very technological, the kids aren't riding BMX bikes and doing jumps. Like in this town we always go to, Yokosuka,
yep.
They just built their first BMX dirt track and a skate bowl.
Yep.
And like just now.
Yep.
So when, it's still all about grandmas riding around there, on the big wheel bikes.
Yep.
And that's kind of, but there are definitely no kids doing big, but it started.
Yep.
And dirt bikes, they make all the dirt. Or,
Absolutely.
Yamaha, Kawasaki.
Absolutely.
They don't have, they do, but it's definitely not part of what the kids do yet.
Yeah.
It will be.
Because it's the culture, they're not bred to sort of go this way. It's very academically minded, but it's shifting, you might as well.
But by nature, boys are boys. We're all still want to do it. Geez, it'll be big, so I imagine China will be exactly the same way.
Yeah. Look, we're really excited. There's lots of activity. The Chinese, they're definitely, really progressive at looking anything Western at the moment, so it's about getting in there, being a first mover into these international markets. And, Pulse X event is just one of those events that we feel that we're going to chaperone a lot of great businesses and be a connector to new opportunities through international buying. So I might just plug our website. It's www.pulse-x.com. Go check it out. It's going to be fantastic.
It's a great website too.
Thanks.
I'll have you know.
Yeah, thanks.
It looks great.
Thanks.
Hey, tell us the convention centre. I remember when it was. Do you remember it was the Broadbeach Bowls Club?
No, I don't.
You know,
I don't.
yeah.
Tell me about that.
It was just basically the river covered a lot of. They put a whole bunch of sand and dirt there to create the convention centre. So I moved here around about 98 sort of thing, when it was just up that end was just the casino. And the old Bowls Club was just there.
Wow.
I remember when they built the convention centre going, I don't really, because the convention centre didn't really, now it's the greatest thing ever.
That's right.
Right. Right beside the casino. I saw that comic thing, Comic-Con or something, where everyone dresses up in characters.
Supernova.
Just like that. Again, to see people dressing up in Supernova characters. I just kept looking at these kids going, you lucky buggers. I never got this when I was a kid.
Nah, there's so much on offer. I went to actually the Friday of that event, and I just saw the most amazing costumes and people who were just laser focused on showing their personality behind these, these costumes. And I think they got like about 35,000 over the 4 days or 3 days or something like that. So the convention centre is just a great hub for bringing activity to the Gold Coast. And we're very, very lucky and fortunate to have a facility like that, $167 million facility on our doorstep. And
they're good to deal with.
Fantastic. Yeah. The events manager, Wade, and obviously the general manager, Adrian, they're just really active about making sure they deliver the ultimate consumer experience. So I've had many, many meetings with them, and they are just so accommodating. They said, look, the main thing is make sure the event is fantastic for the consumer, and that's the main thing. And I said, what a great way to be. So very excited that we're partnering with the facility in December.
Wow. So tell me, when you go to China and you try and put a show on there, you come up against challenges, and then you find your golden ticket guy, or your people.
Yeah. Look, China's it's the main thing about China. It's the scale. So you'll put. We're in Guangzhou in China, so you put an event on there, and you're going to get so many people come along just for the experience to see what Western brands are available. And the reason we're going to China is to actually showcase the Western brands, and so the Western brands can actually tell their story, because China's all about trust.
Right.
When you look at products in China at the moment, especially through Alibaba and Tmall, Alibaba does 60 million transactions a day. That's a lot for an e-commerce product. The scale is just absolutely huge. So we're really, really happy to give an opportunity for a small business or medium business a chance to connect to international buyers that are interested in the products we're putting out there. You know, the sports products was one